welcome back. I wanted to talk about friendships. Something occurred to me and I really want to talk about it because it is so true and I feel like we don't think about it enough. Whenever I make these friendship videos, it's because I feel like there are things that we all experience, but sometimes we don't know how to interpret certain behaviors or how to react to them, and by making this video I put it out and make people more aware of it, so that they know when it begins to happen to them. And I guess, you know, since they've already thought about it from watching these videos, they will have a better idea of how to handle the situation, because these are things that I have to learn from experience, most of them, not all of them. And I didn't really get to learn how to handle them at the time that they were happening, but now looking back in hindsight, I'm thinking, yeah, so this is what was happening, this is what they were doing, this is how I was reacting, this is what I was doing, kind of thing. And sometimes it's best to be more proactive, right? To know stuff so that you know how to handle yourself when you face the situation. Okay, so the topic of this video is: don't make friends with people that are friends with people that don't like you. Let me repeat that. Don't make friends with a person that is friends with another person that does not like you. The reason why this is important is because when we're friends with someone, we develop the habit of confiding in them and telling them things that we wouldn't tell other people that we're not friends with. So if you have a friend and you confide in this friend of yours, you tell them personal things that you prefer for other people not to hear about. That friend that you confide in also has a friend that they confide in, and they tell them personal things that they will not tell other people. So what happens is that friend of yours, more often than not, will end up telling their friends certain things about you. It's not really a problem if they're talking about non-personal things or things that you wouldn't mind having out there in the public. But if they're personal things that you have talked to them about and they end up talking to someone about, one, that can be very hurtful. Two, it's just wrong to tell other people private things that your friend has told you. Now imagine how much more hurtful it'll be if the person that they told does not even like you to begin with. When someone doesn't like you, the number one thing is that you don't give them personal information about yourself, especially if they have a tendency to be vindictive. You don't want them knowing personal things about you. You don't want them to know, negative things that have happened in your life. You don't even want them to have any good news about you, because they have a way of tainting the good stuff in your life and turning it ugly. Or some people have the tendency to turn other people against you. So if something happens to you, they can find a way, if they find out about it, they can find a way to interpret it in such a way that when they next relay it to someone else, and they will, if someone doesn't like you and they find out something negative about you, they will tell someone else. So maybe someone you work with or someone that's in a group of friends with you guys, they will tell someone else. So they will twist or relay that information in a different way, in a way that will make you look bad. That's why when someone does not like you, you cannot have them have information about you. Don't tell them about your family, don't tell them about your work, don't tell them about your plans, especially about your plans and your goals and like what you're actively working on. Do not tell them. Now, how can you be sure that they will not have this information if you're telling this information to someone that's friends with them? You cannot guarantee that. You can trust someone all you want, but you cannot guarantee what they will say or sometimes accidentally say to another person. People sometimes reveal information that they don't even realize that they're revealing about other people, and sometimes they may intentionally do that, but sometimes it's unintentional. They wouldn't even realize that they're doing it. It's either a habit that they formed and they don't realize they're doing it, or people are very sneaky and they have a way of getting information about someone else without asking you directly. There are people out there that use this for evil intentions. They try to use it to just paint you in a negative light for no reason. And so yeah, if you have a friend and that friend is close to you and you confide in them, but they're close to someone else and that person doesn't like you, and it's obvious that that person doesn't like you, you have to distance yourself from your friend. It doesn't have to be physical distance, it can just be emotional distance. So basically, don't confide in them anymore. You guys can hang out 24/7, but you do not confide in them. I have people that I'm friends with. We spend a lot of time together, but because of the personality that they have where they talk about people a lot, and I found out that they talk about me to people that don't like me, which they're friends with, I have stopped confiding in them. And I still hang out with them. I didn't tell them that I've stopped confiding in them, because you cannot change a person's character, not an adult. You cannot, people are just not gonna wake up one morning and change because you ask them to. So I don't tell people to change. I simply adjust the way that I interact with them. So there's certain things that I stop telling them because I know that they are going to tell people that I don't like, or people that don't like me, and that I know for a fact that have tried to be vindictive towards me. I'm just not gonna, divulge personal information and private information to them. Another thing is, if you have a friend as well, like the same friend who's friends with you, but is also friends with someone that doesn't like you and tries to harm you, like give you a bad reputation, you have to be very careful with your friend. Because first of all, if person A and person B don't get along, but person C is friends with both people, and person C is not trying to bridge the gap, is not trying to form friendship between person A and B, is not trying to stop the conflicts between person A and B, or is not trying to make them be closer friends and to see the good in each other, it means person C is not a true friend to you in the first place. They are not true friends. Someone that benefits from being friends with two opposing parties is not there for either of those people. They're simply there for themselves. All they care about is themselves, what they can get from each person. They're not trying to to end the conflict between both parties because they benefit something. There are people out there that actually take pride in knowing that they have friends that don't get along, and they are the only ones that get along in all the groups. I've heard this so many times. I've heard people say, oh no, I'm cool with everybody here, I don't have problems with anyone, you're the one with problems. And they brag about it, about how they're cool with everyone, but all their friends have conflicts with other people. That's not a good thing. It's kind of sick when you think about it. Because why do people enjoy being the only person that have good relationships with other people, and they enjoy the fact that other people, like all their other friends, have conflicts with everyone else? That's just weird, in my opinion. So if I have a friend with someone who's friends with me and is also friends with someone that doesn't like me, and they are not trying to stop our conflicts, and they just sort of feed off of whatever energy they think will benefit them, I keep them at a distance. I don't confide in them. I will hang out with them. It's going to be a very surface level friendship, and yeah, just I don't allow myself to get very close, because in my mind I'm already telling myself that this person is not my true friend. If they're my true friend, they'll be trying to stop the conflict that I have with someone else, not necessarily like ending their friendship with that person, but they should at least try to bring myself and that person closer, not benefiting from the conflict. So that's basically what I wanted to say in this video, which is that if you have a friend who's friends with you but also friends with someone that you do not like, you have to keep them at a distance. Don't divulge personal information to them, because they're going to tell the person that does not like you one way or another. It's going to slip out, and that person will have more information to use against you, to tear down your reputation and bring you down one way or another. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.